Hello fam, welcome back to my channel. Thank you all for clicking on the link to watch this video. Thanks to all my old and my new subscribers. If today is your first time watching my video, don't forget to click on the subscription button to subscribe to my channel after watching this video. So I'm Barkis Isaka. I'm a first year PhD student at Michigan State University, and once again I'm back with all your tips for grad school. So today I just want to talk to those of you who have received admission decisions. So that's for fall admissions, because they usually send decisions for fall admissions around, like, I mean, it starts from January, but mostly by the end of April everyone should know where they stand regarding their fall admissions. And I know most schools will be sending final decisions somewhere around this week, because they usually give people till April 15th to make a decision. So for those of you who were put on waiting list, for those of you who are waiting for admission funding decision, it's most likely that probably they give it to other students and they're waiting for them to make a decision before they give it to other people. So yeah, this video is for you. I know it's hard, so I mean, this is for those who did not receive funding, be it full funding, if you received half, like so little that you cannot afford to pay for the rest. And for those of you who did not receive admission at all, this video is for you. So I just want to talk about some of the things that probably might have affected your chances of getting admission and funding. I'm not saying these are concrete things, or these are things that if you do not do would affect your chances of like getting admission. I'm a Muslim and I believe in God, and I believe that if God wills, or if something is for you, God is definitely going to make you get that thing. But I also believe that for God to help you, you also have to put in the effort and work hard. And I'm not saying if you did not receive admission or funding, that means you did not work hard. Sometimes we work hard, but we are probably not working hard in the right way. I don't know. Yeah, but that's just what I can say. So I'm just going to mention some few things that probably might have affected your chances. And again, as I said, this does not mean like that's why you did not get. Probably God just said it's not your time, and maybe when you try another time, God would make you get it. So I'm doing this video because a lot of people have reached out to me that they want to go for loan to be able to attend, and I've discouraged a lot of people from going for loan. Don't go in for loan, seriously. I know how frustrating it is if you don't get admission and funding, like, because you've already made your plans and you really want to come to school, and things go wrong and you feel like, oh, I can just go for a loan and come to school. Don't go for a loan and come to school, because there are so many schools in the US that offer funding, full funding. And when I say full funding, I mean full scholarship. They'll waive your tuition, they'll give you stipend. So why should you go for a loan just because you want to come to school this year? Why not relax and give it a try? And I know it's easy for me to sit here and say, oh, relax and stuff. I know it's really hard, and I didn't get school the first time I tried. So I tried somewhere 2019 or 2018. Yeah, I tried somewhere 2018 and it failed, but I tried again 2019 and I was able to make it. So you are not alone. You are not the only one who has ever received a rejection. It's okay to feel angry, it's okay to cry, but don't let that get to you too much. Go back to the drawing board and give it a try again. Look out for the things that you missed, look out for the things that you probably did wrong, and fix that, and try again next time. So these are some of the things that probably you did not do right, or probably you did not even attempt or do, and it's probably affected your chances. So I'm going to mention some few things, and one of the things is starting early. So did you start the application early? Because I feel like sometimes people know that, okay, I want to go to school, but they'll just sit there and wait till the school opens application before they start the process. Don't wait. So if you are interested in applying for fall semester, I mean, for those of you who want to come to school for 2023, the best time to start is now, like somewhere May, June, July, till the time, even though they open their application portal in October. The best time to start is now. And when I say starting now, that's like getting your transcript together, getting your certificates and everything. When you start early, you are able to like get so many things ahead of time. One of the problems with like international students, I don't know about other countries, but for Ghana, I know sometimes it's really hard getting our professors to put in their recommendation. But if you start early and you're able to talk to the professors ahead of time, you're able to put all the application materials together such that immediately they open the portal, then like you are going to put your application in. It could probably give the professors some more time, or you can just follow up with them. But if you apply late, let's say the deadline is like December 15th and you start like December 10th, that's what some of us do, seriously. Like you start really late. If the professor doesn't put their recommendation early, your application is not going to be reviewed. So they usually would review the application after they've received all the materials. So if you start early, it gives you more chance to put all your materials together, even your transcripts and everything. And sometimes some schools will have some requirements that you might not know. So I had friends who applied to schools that required them to evaluate their transcripts with the WES people. And because they started the process early, they did not even know that the school like require transcript evaluation. And so after they did the evaluation and everything, before the school would receive their evaluation, it was too late, and the school had already reviewed all the other applications they received. So starting early gives you a good chance of like fixing some mistakes, getting things in ahead of time, and fixing so many things. So please, if you are interested in fall, please start early. So for those of you who received rejection, I'm not saying that you did not start early, but ask yourself, did I start the process early? Did I give my recommenders more time to put in their recommendation? Did I give myself a chance to finish my application early so that I can be following up with my recommenders so that they put the recommendations in? So if there's something you did not do, don't repeat that mistake. This year starts now, and I hope things would work out. Now, the other thing is reaching out to people who are schooling outside, or reaching out to your friends. I know sometimes we feel like, okay, I can do it by myself, I can get things done and stuff, but it's always good to reach out to people, because trust me, you might feel like you know all the information, but reaching out to people would make you realize that you don't know it all, and there are probably things that you are missing out on. So please, if you did not do that last year when you're applying to school, this year please try and do that. You can just go to LinkedIn, search for like maybe Nigerian, I don't know, but like there's just a way. I usually use LinkedIn to find people. Like when I got to Michigan State University and I was looking for accommodation, I wanted to live with an African, so I went to LinkedIn and I just searched Michigan State University, African, female. I don't know, but I just did something like that anyways. And seriously, I got a list of like some female African students schooling here, and I was able to reach out to them. So even if you don't know anyone, try and do that. Ask your friends, do you know anyone schooling in the US? I have interest in applying to schools and I want somebody's advice. So it's always good to reach out to other people for advice. Now, the other thing is reaching out to professors. I know I say this a lot in almost all my videos. Sometimes I tell people will come to me like, what should I do? I'll tell them, reach out to professors. They'll be like, the school does not require that. Yeah, I know. A lot of schools don't require you to reach out to professors, but seriously, reaching out to professors comes with a whole lot of benefits. Professors might even give you tips on what to put in your application and what not to do. Seriously, like when I spoke to all the professors before applying for my PhD, before like we end the conversation, I'll ask them, what are some of the things you think I should put in my SOP, or what are some of the things that might increase my chances? And they were so willing to give me tips, even though I was applying to their schools. So reach out to professors, please. If you did not do that before applying to school last year, please reach out to professors. I'm not saying reaching out to professors is automatic, and once you reach out to them, you get admission and funding, but trust me, it increases your chances. You don't know, these professors might be sitting on the admission committee, they might be part of the people making decisions. So if a professor that you spoke to and that professor So if the professor is part of the admission committee and they were really impressed after you spoke to them. So when you speak to professors or when you reach out to professors, request for a Zoom meeting, and during the Zoom meeting, sell yourself out to them very well. And if they are impressed with you, trust me, they would always refer you to the department, though, like put in a word for you, and that might increase your chances of like getting admission and funding. So if you did not speak to any professor before doing that, that might probably have affected your chance. And again, I'm not saying that is the reason, but try and do that again next time. And I mean this year, if you're applying for schools again. The other thing is getting people to review your SOP. Some of us don't like let other people read our SOPs, but it's always good, even in graduate school. Like, even some of our professors, when they write their papers, they always send it out to even like other graduate students, or they even have people who proofread their papers for them. You might be a very good writer, but still try to like get a second eye to look at your SOP. So you get people to review your SOP, and you can only get people to review your SOP if you start the process early, because people also have their lives, right? If you start the process late, and let's say you have 3 days to the deadline, and you are now chasing people to review your SOP for you, if they are also busy with other things, they might not be able to like review your SOP for you. So start early. When you start early, you can put your SOP together early, and then make sure you get someone to review your SOP. Seriously, even if the person is not someone calling in the US or someone's calling outside, get someone to proofread your SOP before like you put your SOP out there. The other thing, which is like the most important thing, which is the funding information. It's really interesting that sometimes people would apply to school without checking if the school offers funding. So you're just applying to a school and you don't even know if the school is offering funding, but you want to get funding. Like, don't do that. Seriously, like, put in that effort. Take this application process as like a work application process. So put in the effort. Just do it once and for all. If you do it very well, trust me, you do it very well, you pray, you trust in God, trust me, you are going to get it. Just do the process well. Don't make sure you put in the effort in every part of it. Put in so much effort in searching for the school, put in so much effort in writing the SOP, put in so much effort in writing your CV, put in efforts in like reaching out to professors, and put in efforts in finding the important information such as the funding information. Sometimes you apply to school, and most of the schools in the US have priority deadline. So the priority deadlines are usually the deadlines that they will consider you for if you apply within that specific deadline. So all those schools might have late deadline. If you want to be considered for funding, they will usually have a priority deadline. So if you are going to apply to a school, please check and make sure that they've stated the priority deadline, or make sure that you are going to apply to meet that priority deadline. You're not going to apply after the priority deadline, because the priority deadline is when they consider people for funding. So make sure that you are going to apply within that period. So verify from the school's website, when is their late deadline, when is their priority deadline, when do they consider people for funding. They'll write it, they'll state it there that all students who apply before this will be considered for funding. And there's also a difference between deadline for international students and deadline for domestic students, that's students who were born and raised in the US. So you have to check the priority deadline for international students if you're international students, because that's what applies to you. So if you did not do that before applying for school, probably you missed the priority deadline and you still put in the application. So that's something you should check. The other thing is checking what type of funding they have. I always tell people that when you're applying to school, make sure you apply to schools that have stated it there that we have teaching assistantship or we have research assistantship. This is important because mostly schools have a lot of slots for teaching and research assistantship. So in my department, for instance, I think they admitted like having more than 7 PhD students for my time, and we all have teaching assistantship. And this because for every year the department would have like probably 7 to 10 slots. Even schools that don't have enough funding will probably have like 4 or 5. So that's a lot. I mean, though it's not too much, but it's a lot as compared to scholarships. So some schools will state it on their website that, oh, we give scholarships, so and so scholarships. These scholarships are really competitive, and sometimes I feel like, especially for us international students, when we just see scholarship, we are like, okay, I'll be considered for scholarship. You don't even know if international students are not considered for that scholarship. Please read all those details. Read details about scholarship, read details about funding. So if the school state scholarship, I always tell people, avoid schools that don't have assistantship, like teaching assistantship or research assistantship, and just state it there that, oh, we will consider everyone who applies for scholarship. Those scholarships are really, really competitive, and I'm not saying you are not a competitive student, but why don't you rather invest more time applying for a school that gives like 7 of the students they admit assistantship, as compared to a school that will just give 1 person scholarship? Why? So just apply to schools that have stated that they give graduate teaching assistantship or research assistantship, compared to schools that will just state that, oh, we'll offer you scholarship. And sometimes these scholarships are not full, it's just half. And with the assistantship, almost I mean, it's not all, but almost every assistantship will waive your tuition and also give you stipend. So that's also the other thing that you should consider. I don't know if I missed out on anything because I wrote all down, but yeah, just the point I mentioned, just starting early gives you time to put in everything together early. Verify funding information. Verify if it's teaching assistantship or if it's research assistantship. Verify if you've not missed the priority deadline. Reach out to like other people who are schooling in the US for advice and for suggestions. You can always reach out to me. I'll provide my email, and you can always reach out to me. Get someone to proofread your SOP. So get a second eye to look at your SOP, and also reach out to professors. So again, if these are some things that you missed out last year, or if you did not do any of these things last year, I'm not saying that that's what prevented you from getting funding, but I'm saying it probably might have affected your chances of getting funding or admission. So make sure you do that this year. So don't give up. Don't think of going for loan. So many schools in the US offer funding. Rather, strategize and put in the best this year and try and apply. And if you have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out to me. So if you have other questions about this particular video, you can just put your questions in the comment section, and I'll be happy to answer all your questions. So thank you once again for watching my video. I'll be sharing more tips on the application process. I'll go through step-by-step process for like those of you interested in applying for the fall this year. I'll touch on what you should do in June, what you should do in July, and I'll just put like step-by-step process so that you can easily follow it. And I wish you all the best. I'm sorry that you did not get admission and funding, but trust me, next year you would get it. Just put in the efforts again. Don't give up, and just pray, and God is going to make a way. So thank you all so much, and I really appreciate you watching this video. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you haven't subscribed to my channel, and I'll see you again next time. Bye.